Welcome back, everybody. This is the thejonnymar, and I am continuing with Stardew Valley, my playthrough as a Joja member. Tomorrow we're going to have a beautiful sunny day, as we are going to pass very soon the halfway point of summer. And we are apparently going to have a little bit of extra luck on this very rainy day, as our melons have finally come in. Yay! So we have a ton of harvesting to do. We also are going to have our house upgrade very soon. So Mayor Lewis has sent us some mail now that we've reached 10 hearts of affection with Haley, letting us know that if we want to marry someone, we need to find a mermaid's pendant. And he doesn't let us know how to do that, but I mentioned previously that you need to go to the beach on a rainy day, and you also have to have a person at 10 hearts worth of affection and have at least one house upgrade in order to get the mermaid's pendant for 5,000 monies. And Clint has also sent us a little gift as well. So we need to do a ton of harvesting, get all of those melons, and then we need to spend those profits. So for our moment of mindfulness for this time, it'll be harvesting melons. And that has been your moment of mindfulness, harvesting 127 melons. Alright, so we're going to take off our glow rings here because we're going to head in and see Haley's final heart event, at least from the original 10 hearts. They actually added an additional heart event if you marry Haley, and we'll get to see that hopefully eventually as well. Haley is a photographer, so she has decided to open up this back room of her house, and now she has made it into a dark room. Yeah, looks pretty nice. I've been in a dark room and actually developed photos myself, so I don't need to ask what it does or say that I've seen better, because that's pretty mean. So I'll just say it's a very nice place. But what should we do in here? A dark room, alone, just the two of us. Well, maybe we should decorate it. Or maybe I should get out of here. I don't know. What should we do? Let's make out. Really nice little picture there, too, of her doing her kissing face, I guess. So if you have the glow ring on, you actually will still be able to see both of them very clearly. So I figured for the ambiance of the scene, I might as well take them off. But there you go. We have gotten all 10 hearts with Haley and also seen all 5 of her heart events. And hi, Emily. Don't mind me if me and Haley look a little flush. Nothing was going on back there in that dark room. We were just developing photos. Alright, so let's sell off all of this stuff and see how much money we get. 127 melons. They're going to be worth quite a bit, as you might expect. So we're going to top close to 50,000 money, which will allow us to now pick up our first upgrade from the Joja Community Center project, which is awesome. We're also going to check out the beach here. Now, unfortunately, we did not get any super melons. So again, melons are one of those crops that you can actually get a special super version. If you have a 9x9 square, there's a chance that they'll meld together and create a super crop. We didn't get that, but maybe with our second harvest we'll actually get one. We'll see. Let's pick up all the stuff here on the beach. There's the old mariner that you need to talk to. And he's going to let us know again we need a bigger house in order to get married and get that mermaid's pendant very soon, if we can get a rainy day. Here's hoping. And, you know, I haven't checked in on Elliot in a while. We should probably be at 2 hearts with him. So yeah, let's activate his 2 heart event. I believe this is his 2 heart event. This is Elliot's little shack that he lives in on the beach. He has some interesting stuff in here. So Elliot is a writer. He sort of pulled up his roots and left his home wherever he used to live and came to the valley here in Pelican Town in order to become a novel writer. He was sort of ridiculed by the people back home for wanting to follow through with that particular goal in his life. I mean, that's not necessarily very far from the truth. I'm sure there are a lot of people that try to write and never get anywhere with it, other than maybe being self-published. But yes, I believe in you. Perhaps if you do become a famous writer, we can have Joja sponsor you, and you can become a spokesperson for us. Now, in terms of my favorite types of books amongst these 3 choices, usually it's fantasy and also sci-fi. So we'll go with sci-fi as an option. Not a huge mystery fan, although I'll occasionally look into mystery, and certainly not a big fan of romance when it comes to books. So that actually plays into later Elliot events if you choose to continue to build relationships with him. We are not going to spend a ton of time getting Elliot up to high heart affection. But let's look at his rose here. I wonder why his rose isn't doing well. Have you been watering it? Are you giving it sun? Who knows? Probably look into doing those things and make sure the soil is of good quality. Alright, so we have a ton of cash here. We need to, of course, replenish our stock of melon seeds. Pam lets us know about the doggy that's outside of Alex's house next to the saloon. And it's named Dusty. And again, that comes into play if you do Alex's heart events. He actually introduces you to the dog. But let us buy a ton of melon seeds. So we harvested 127. We had 3 extra sunflower seeds, so we'll stop at 124. And then let us get our first upgrade for the community. It's going to cost quite a bit, but fortunately we do have just enough to buy it. And that is the greenhouse, which will allow us to accumulate even more wealth as we plant even more melons. Yay! But they're going to start working on it and have it finished by tomorrow. Alright, and there's Alex, and today is actually Alex's birthday. Not sure where he's smelling barbecue from, maybe the saloon. But here's some coral for you on your birthday, Alex. As you might expect, it is a normal gift, like it is for most people in the valley. So now we have Alex up to 2 hearts of affection, which means we can actually see his first heart event as well. Alright, so that is another day completed. We're going to watch the shifty-eyed supervisor here as Joja takes care of our greenhouse. I'm sure they're going to do a fantastic job. And we're up to level 8 farming. Sweet. So now we can actually create kegs if we wish. And level 7 foraging. Not necessarily that great, but certainly awesome to finally be getting to high levels with a few of our more important stats. At least the ones we're focusing on. But now we have reached the halfway point of summer. And with our new greenhouse, we're going to have to spend a significant amount of time prepping that building and getting it up to speed. And we also want to start getting down into the mines, because now that we have the greenhouse, we're actually going to want gold ore so we can start creating sprinklers so we don't have to spend a ton of energy watering in the greenhouse as well as outside. Pancakes. Add that to a nice omelet and you have pretty much my perfect breakfast. Thank you, Queen of Sauce. Should we get a kitchen, perhaps I'll start making some of that, although we don't really have the ingredients to do that because we aren't raising any animals. But hello, Evelyn. Did we only get one battery pack from our lightning rods? Really? We spent all day running around the valley yesterday in a thunderstorm, and it did not strike our second lightning rod? Crazy. But Evelyn is going to give us a little gift. What is that gift? It is a pot. We're raising a particular crop inside or outside. But what's awesome about them is that you can actually grow any particular crop that you want inside, like your house, and it can be in season or out of season. Now, if you put them outside, they have to be in season. So, for example, we could only grow summer crops outside, but in our house, we can grow anything we want. So some good options are, if you've happened to find an ancient fruit, that would be a good one to grow. Or if you have coffee, those tend to be the ones that I focus on using the pots. But we don't have either of those, so we're just going to put a random seed. We'll use a wild seed in it and see what we get. But Pam is going to give us another quest. She wants a pale ale, which requires hops put into a keg. Now, hops is a summer crop. We do not have any hops currently growing. But as long as we buy at least one seed now that we have our greenhouse, we can actually grow hops at any time. So we should be able to get that pretty easily for Pam. And pale ale is actually one of the more profitable ventures. But to craft a garden pot, you need clay, stone, and refined quartz. To craft a keg, you need a few things like oak resin. It's one of the few things oak resin is actually used for crafting purposes. And then if you are raising pigs and you get some truffles, you can create oil. But that's pretty expensive to actually create not only those items and also to raise pigs. Although for most of my playthroughs I do end up getting to that point where I end up changing all of my animals over to pigs. So what do you have today, traveling merchant? Wow. Okay, a rabbit's foot. That is one of the rarest items in the game. So it's pretty tough to get that, and if you are doing the community center route, that can be very useful to find that in the traveling merchant as opposed to trying to get one naturally through raising rabbits. Here we go, activating Alex's heart event here on the beach. Now, unfortunately, a couple of Alex's events require you to be on the beach when he's on the beach, and also for it to be a sunny day. And so if you do not do this during summer, he actually does not come to the beach otherwise. So your window of actually hitting these events is pretty limited. And one of his later events also requires it too. I totally would have caught that in real life. I have great hands. And as John Madden used to say in the old Madden games, they used to put stickum on their hands, but now they have those gloves. So I would totally wear gloves too. But he's talking about grid ball, whatever that is. Obviously their version of football. And that he is a prospect, at least in his eyes. He is pretty arrogant. But again, similar to Elliot, perhaps we're going to plant some seeds here in Alex so that we can sponsor him and have him be a spokesperson for Joja in the future. So we will support him, even if it is not necessarily genuine. We believe in you, Alex. And Haley, we're going to give you one of your last terrible pickup lines since we are very soon, hopefully, going to be proposing to you. So Haley, I've heard kissing referred to as the language of love. Let's have a conversation about that topic sometime. All right. So we are at the Joja Mart again, and we need a bunch of new seeds to go into our new greenhouse. So of course we're going to go with melon seeds. Let's see how many we can get. Probably around 100. So that should take up most of the greenhouse, and we'll fill it out with other seeds we have. So this is the greenhouse. What's nice about it is you can actually grow any crops from any season throughout the year. And it's pretty big, and you don't have to worry about things like crows or weather events. So I set it up here to have spaces available for sprinklers eventually. You actually need, I believe, about 20 sprinklers. The second level sprinklers to cover the whole area. Or it actually looks like it's 16. So you need 12 of them within the growing area itself, and then 4 of them around the border to cover the last row. Now if you have the third level sprinklers, you actually need less of them. And that allows you to maximize the space here in the greenhouse. Or you could just water the plants themselves manually. But that takes up a lot of energy. And I like to just kind of get this going so I don't have to worry about it. And I can focus on other things like fishing perhaps, or going into the mines. Or maybe even foraging and chopping down trees. But this is going to be very profitable for us, because now we'll have 2 fields essentially growing that we can double our profits from different crops. And we'll actually get our special seed going as well that we picked up from the traveling merchant. But let us water now. There we go. We have gotten the greenhouse going here. It's still light out. If you are inside when it's light out, it'll actually stay light until you leave, and then it'll go to dark. There we go. We have one of the best things in the game, which is the greenhouse. Now the disadvantage of the greenhouse is that basically you can't get special events associated with it. So there is a special event where a fairy will sometimes come. There's a very small chance and will cause some of your crops to grow really fast. I don't believe that will activate related to the greenhouse. But that event is so rare. Whoa, look at our big house. That I'm not too worried about it. I feel a little bad having this tiny little old style CRTV. But we'll make it happen. Whoa, really? We're gonna have a thunderstorm? Oh man. That means we can get a mermaid pendant. We just need 5,000 monies. So today we're gonna focus on trying to amass that much wealth. So tomorrow we can actually pick up that mermaid's pendant and finally propose to Haley. That's pretty sweet. But now that we have our upgraded house, in addition to being able to get married, we can actually start cooking as well. We get a kitchen. So there are a lot of different recipes in the game. We don't have a ton of them so far, because you're going to get a lot of them through the Queen of Sauce program, and then also through raising relationships with the other citizens of Pelican Town. So we have, I don't know, like 15 or 20 so far. And yes, one of the achievements is tied to cooking one of everything, which means you're going to have to grow pretty much every crop in the game and get a ton of forage and fish as well. It is quite the endeavor to get that particular achievement. Aw, and Mom sent us a special cake. That's nice. We're going to immediately sell it because we want the money from that. Cooked goods are actually worth quite a bit, which is nice because in some Harvest Moon games, you actually can't sell cooked goods. So they essentially are only for the purposes of regaining stamina, whereas in this game, oftentimes they're going to be worth more than the products you put into them. But not always, depending on your perks associated with your leveling. But let's get our little garden pot going here. Let's move our bed over so we have a little bit more room to get into the bed each night. And then we'll put the garden pot at the base of the bed here. Perhaps eventually we'll have 3 of them. We'll have 3 different crops going. And then we'll just put a random wild seed in there. And we'll see what we get. That kind of looks like it's a melon seed. So another melon perhaps. And we do need to water all of our plants here and also find a way to get about 5,000 gold by tomorrow so that we are able to get the Mermaid's Pendant and finally finish up with Haley. So I'm gonna grab a bunch of things here that I can afford to get rid of, and we'll just sell them off. I don't need all this hardwood since we can actually get hardwood basically every day if we want it here on our farm in the forest, because those respawn on each new day. Plus you can also go to the mysterious forest. But I have lots of extra stuff here. And then once we sell everything off, I'll do my basic chores, and then perhaps we'll head to the mines. Because again, now that we have the greenhouse, we want to start getting gold ore so that we can start getting those upgraded sprinklers, so I don't have to worry about watering every day. Because watering 2 fields takes up a lot of energy. A single energy bar usually will get you through 1 to sometimes a half of a field. So we're going to need to restore a lot of our energy. But we do have the ability to build a second bee house here, which is pretty nice. Still getting our honey. And we are starting to get to a point now where we're going to have 2 diamonds down here of bee houses. And apparently I forgot to water these 2 rows. Well, that has now been taken care of. But let's sell off all of this stuff. All of our baked goods we've acquired so far, a little bit of mining stuff, and then of course a tiny bit of forage as well, and a few products from our crafting chest also. And then the rest of the day we're going to spend in the mines, trying to get as much gold ore as we possibly can. So we'll see what we can find down here in the mines. Hopefully, let's say 5, maybe 6 or 7 bars worth. So I'll see you in a little bit. Or I'll see you quicker than I expected since we got a special floor here, which is a mushroom floor. So these are floors that will randomly spawn. And basically you can harvest a ton of mushrooms down here. Now we're starting to get some stronger enemies since we're down to 480 here. And our weapon is, as you might notice, not really holding up. Now I could buy the Templar sword. It does cost quite a bit. But if I wait till floor 90, I'll actually get a new sword anyway. And you may notice our pickaxe also is taking multiple strikes to get through these rocks. Alright, so we got down 5 floors, and these are the shadow people. So they are some of the enemies in the game. Ooh, a strange bun. That is a rare cooked good. But you'll notice that they don't have a ton of knockback, so they will just charge into you and do as much damage as possible. So they can be pretty dangerous, and these red slimes are pretty dangerous as well. Because again, they're going to start doing a lot of damage to you if you let them. But that is all we're going to do today. I got about 25 gold ore. So So that's enough for 5 particular bars of gold and 5 sprinklers. And that has been another successful day in the valley. So next time we're going to pick up the Mermaid's Pendant and we're going to propose to Haley and start a brand new life of marriage eventually. I like to go the fighter route to get the extra damage. So as always, viewers, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Thank you for the continued support. And I will see you all in my next episode as we continue in summer and take steps towards changing our relationship with Haley for the rest of our lives. So long. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please press like and leave a comment below. Please also subscribe to my channel and press the notification bell. See you next time.